Hello guys and welcome to Fluffies and Fangs.
I'm Team Corn Snake.
And I'm Team Ball Python. And today we're here to talk to you about which one is better for you. The Royal Python or the Corn Snake. So guys, we're going to start off with size. Ball pythons are typically between 3 and 5 feet long. However, they can be a bit larger, up to 6 feet, but it's not as common. In my opinion, this is the perfect snake size for a beginner snake owner. They are not too big and not too small, but their thickness really stands out.
I'm here today with Apollo, and he is our lovely corn snake. And they are typically 4 to 5 feet long with slender bodies, as you can see. Sometimes they can be bigger, or should I say longer, or smaller. Some of ours are smaller. Apollo is actually 4 feet and he's gorgeous.
So moving on, we're going to talk about appearance. Ball pythons typically have these earth-toned patterns and usually quite darker colours. However, you will find some amazing morphs available. I've seen pied morphs, yellow, banana, albino, all sorts of beautiful colours that you can get ball pythons in. So whilst we're touching on morphs, as you can see, the clear difference on appearance is the thickness and the size of their heads.
Corn snakes come in many different morphs and many colours, and they are very vibrant, colourful, and really great with their appearance. I'd say I'm Team Corn Snake.
So next, let's talk about handleability. When handling a ball python, as you can see, they're just so chill. You've probably seen my partner in this video. The corn snake is a little bit harder to keep on top of, but the ball python definitely beats the corn snake in areas of handleability. I mean, I could literally do chores around the house with this snake attached to me. With the corn snake, it is my absolute priority to keep on top of the corn snake, and I literally cannot do anything else whilst handling the corn snake.
Although corn snakes are very slippery for your hands, they are actually much easier and less intimidating to children, say, or first time beginners and people that have never actually held a snake before. So they're definitely great for handling in that aspect, but they do like to wiggle around a lot. Look at Apollo, just going. Yeah, but they're very friendly.
So when it comes to enclosures, ball pythons definitely need a slightly larger enclosure. Online it recommends at least a 40-gallon enclosure for a ball python, but the bigger the better. If you can offer them a larger enclosure like a 50 or 60-gallon, then that will be even better for your ball python to thrive in. Also, whilst we're on enclosures, humidity levels are important. Ball pythons can have trouble with shedding, meaning they need a slightly higher humidity than the corn snake, whilst the corn snake seems to have little to no problems with shedding.
They recommend 20 gallon for corn snakes with their enclosures. However, we recommend double that, say 40 or even more, as they do like to explore around. As you can see, they're very active, especially at night time as they're nocturnal, and they are great to watch when they are in their enclosures. I enjoy Apollo drinking his water because I love watching him in his enclosure from time to time. They are really fun and great to watch. Their humidity levels should be about 50%, and yeah, that's pretty much it. For a beginner, I'd definitely recommend a corn snake, as their enclosures are a lot easier to maintain and deal with.
Right, so next we're going to touch on diet. Obviously, the main difference between a corn snake and a ball python is the thickness. just look how thick this girl is. And the prey that she's going to eat in comparison to a corn snake is going to be a lot larger, meaning more expensive meals. So with this girl in particular, she is on medium-sized rats, and most of our corn snakes are on much smaller food, making them cheaper to look after. So the next thing we're going to talk about is temperament. As you can see, this girl is very relaxed, she's very docile. She will let you move her around, and she doesn't really get frightened or anything like that. But not all snakes are going to be the same. For a snake to be as calm as this one, they need to be handled regularly. If they've been through some traumatic experiences or anything like that, then maybe that could send them the other way. So take it snake by snake. On average, these are very docile and very calm, but do be careful that you don't end up with a feisty one.
The corn snake's temperament. They are not necessarily feisty. You can get the odd feisty one depending on their life and if they've had any trauma, I suppose. Ours are very friendly, easy to handle. They like to just glide, and they are really entertaining to watch too.
Next thing I want to talk about is the lifespan of these animals. Ball pythons typically live between 20 and 30 years in captivity, but in some cases they do live even longer, which in my opinion is great. You get one of these snakes and you haven't got to worry about saying goodbye to them too soon. They live quite a long time. But one thing to have in mind is the fact that these are a long-term commitment. You have to make sure that if you get one of these snakes, they are always in a good home. So if you're a breeder and you only plan to breed it for so long and maybe pass it on, then you need to make sure there is someone in line who will take on your ball python and look after it.
Corn snake's lifespan is between 15 and 20 years, which I think is great because you can bond with them and spend a lot of time with them, and they're basically a lifetime commitment.
Suitability for beginners. While the ball python is personally my favorite because they're just so easy to handle, they look a bit nicer, and you can get just so many varieties in colors, I believe the corn snake is better for beginners just because of the easier setups, and managing their environments is a lot easier than a ball python. What's your opinion?
You should have let me say the part.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, I definitely agree that corn snakes are a lot easier to handle, much better for beginners, a lot easier in looking after them in general.
Corn snake's not easy to handle.
Well, okay.
I've got her in one hand.
He's just right round my neck. He likes to chill on me, but he chills on me, and then that's when I know he's going to do a poo. And then he goes everywhere. But at least I get the warning signs, so now I know to move his butt out of the way and let him poo on the floor instead of on me. Yeah.
So what are you? Team ball python or team corn snake?
Corn snake!
So what we want to talk about last is affordability. Just how much are these things? How available are they? And can you afford one?
Well, they do range from different prices, especially depending on whether you're getting the ball python or the corn snake. Typical price for a corn snake is usually, what would you say?
Well, roughly you can get a corn snake, a normal corn snake, this colour, maybe a different pattern, for around £30. But if you go for high-end morphs, you are looking at quite a high price. Maybe £200-300 or even £4 or £5 depending on the morph. And nowadays scaleless, micro scaled are a lot more expensive than a normal corn snake.
Yeah, we actually got Apollo here for £30 with his enclosure, and we got Glamora here for
free. So we picked up Gomorrah and another royal python that we've got literally for free, but these are normals, so they're not a fancy morph. with the morphs of these, they do tend to be a lot more expensive than a corn snake if you're going for the higher end stuff. So with a scaleless ball python, you were looking at double or triple the price than a scaleless corn snake. And it's like that pretty much with every morph. An albino ball python is going to be a lot more expensive than an albino corn snake.
Thank you for joining us here at Fluffies and
Fangs. So, after watching the video, which one will you go for? Is it a royal python or
a corn snake?
Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Fluffies and Fangs. We are on the come up.
Ding!
Like my bracelet?
Like my chain!
Woohoo! We got snake jewelry on.
Howdy.